everyone. Peter Brown here and Mark Walden. We're at Gamescom 2014. We just got out of Sony's press conference and, well, there were a lot of games shown. In fact, the most at Gamescom ever for Sony.
So they say.
So they say.
Yeah.
Mark, I know you were really impressed. I came out feeling like we've seen a lot of these games before, and there wasn't a whole lot of new games shown, at least to an extent that got me very interested. But I want to hear how you feel, because you were very positive.
Well, you know, like at the end of the day, like you look at the sort of the lineup of games, what I wanted to see from Sony was loads of games, and I got that. And with Sony games, like compared to the Microsoft stuff especially, I think you do get a wider variety of stuff, right? There was some really interesting things in there. I mean, we kicked off with Infamous, like, we knew about that anyway, but then, you know, then you get into Bloodborne, and that's looking really cool, and there's like a whole indie section. And, you know, it's just, for me personally, it was a bunch of games that looked interesting, and fun to play, and really different from just a string of shooters. In fact, were there any shooters?
Well, I mean, maybe you could say
Apart from
that
Destiny.
Destiny 1886, I think, would apply as a shooter.
Yeah, sure.
At least to the extent that they showed it at the show.
Yeah.
And they're really couching it in this whole, I'm Nikola Tesla, and I'm doing this really great, thing as this pioneer of electricity.
Yeah, but that game looks sexy as hell. Like, if nothing else, and I've played that game before, and it is very much third-person shooter-y sort of stuff, but it looks beautiful. They've done some amazing work with the visuals on that game, so, you know.
I will not argue that these games didn't look great, but I think the feeling that I had coming out of this is that everything was so brief and vague. But the two games that stood out to me the most were Tearaway and Until Dawn.
Yep.
Until Dawn was a PlayStation 3 horror-based game that we haven't seen for a long time, that has now been confirmed for PlayStation 4. They've been teasing it for a while, and it basically tells the tale of 8 friends who are at a cabin and are being hunted by a homicidal psychopath, for lack of a better description.
Yeah.
And the game looks good, it looks scary, but the cuts were so hard, and it was like 3 seconds of gameplay apiece.
Yeah.
I'm intrigued. I really want to know more.
I get you with that. I mean, I want to know more about these games. Certainly when the conference started, it was a little odd because there's a trailer, and there was another trailer, and then another trailer, and we were like, is anyone coming out to speak at this thing, or is it just like trailers for the whole thing? But we did get some cool, like Ninja Theory, so they announced their game, their brand new game.
Yeah, Hellblade.
Hellblade. That's looking quite interesting. We went to a talk at GDC today where Tamim, the head of the studio, was talking about that kind of stuff, his sort of mid-tier AAA sort of game theory, right?
Yeah.
But that's looking real cool. So we did get some announcements. There was a new Housemarque game as well, which looks very weird.
Alienation, it's very much like a Robotron-inspired twin-stick shooter, but set in a way that's reminiscent of Diablo in a sense, but also Helldivers in a way. It mixes that sort of sci-fi element with these little monsters, and you're kind of firing all over the place. Very much what Housemarque does. They take an old game and they repurpose it for the modern generation. I think it's a very pure gameplay-driven experience. It looks great. But then we had a lot of the bigger experiences like Destiny and Far Cry 4. They have these elements that are unique to the PlayStation 4 experience, which are valuable. I mean, people who care about these games a lot want that exclusive content, and Sony's got that for them. But I'm really waiting to see what comes out of Gamescom over the next few days.
Yeah, I mean, we're going to see some really, really good games behind closed doors, which we'll be writing about for you guys, and we'll be checking those out. But I mean, hey, Kojima, you like Metal Gear Solid, right?
I love Metal Gear. I love Metal Gear, but they're leaning so hard on the cardboard box mechanic, and then leaning so hard on the sexy woman.
The boobies.
Sort of the ideal that, soldiers are going to be distracted by a woman painted on the side of a cardboard box. For a game that is leaning so hard on a serious tone, that took me out of the experience. I need to see how they're going to justify that. I know those games are meant to have a goofy element, but the fact that that's all they showcase, I'm kind of confused.
Sure. I mean, so overall for you then, Sony Gamescom 2014, yay, nay, or I don't know.
I don't know. I really don't know.
No, I think for me it's more of a yay. I think, I wanted to see some real interesting titles. I got them, and I'm really looking forward to seeing what they got for the rest of the show, and obviously what we can bring you guys back home.
Yeah, so over the next few days, stay tuned to GameSpot. We're going to have information on all of these games. So, for Mark Walden and I, thanks for joining us, and stay tuned for the next few days.